What's talking, brothers? Welcome to the Whatbird Talks podcast.
Hi, so before we begin this episode, I just wanted to put out a disclaimer that this is not something I use to air my family's dirty laundry or anything like that. I mean, for those people who are actually listening to this podcast, maybe most of you actually know me personally, and know my parents personally, cause most of my friends know my parents, and so for those who don't know me, I hope you will keep an open mind that what me and my mom is going to be discussing about is solely based on our experience with each other as being daughter and mother to each other, and also what we've experienced for the past 24 years of my life. And I hope that people can understand that this may not apply to everyone, even the things that we perceive or we happen to go through about in this podcast. So I hope people don't take things too hard in terms of maybe some things you might say, or I don't mean to offend anyone, but I hope that the main message I want to spread, every family has their own problems, their own dynamics, sorry, not problems, their own dynamics, and we should respect that. And not everyone is comfortable talking about it, so we shouldn't probe into it as well. But as for me and my mom, we are comfortable sharing about it because I think for people who know me, they think that my family is like, wow, we are close knitted because I'm close with my parents, yes. But I know it may not be the case for every family, and I know there are some people who don't experience such closeness with their family, and that's okay because everyone has their own journey to walk through, their own environment they were born into. And so if any of you have anything that you guys like to share in terms of like your dynamics with your family, your parents, I'm more than happy to listen actually. And I might even make an episode to go through about different questions. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. So this is the first episode of the podcast with my mom, which I mentioned
Hi,
in the introductory episode. So maybe you want to introduce yourself to everybody.
my name is Blessed. I'm Josh's mother, and yeah,
Initially her name is Jessica, because most people know her as Jessica. That can be a story for another day.
yes, interesting.
So yeah. So I think those people who are actually watching, who actually bothers to watch this, are people who know me personally, I guess, because this is quite like an intimate podcast. So for me and my mom, I think most people will think or assume that me and my family were very close. We are close, like I mentioned. It's just that maybe y'all didn't know that behind the scenes, or like how since young, me and my mom, we weren't having the best mother and daughter relationship, which I think may come as a shock to whoever's listening. So yeah, maybe I think maybe you can listen from her perspective, me as a child or me during my teenager years up to now. So maybe you can share.
First of all, I will thank Jia for.
嘉轩
Okay, Jia. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank my daughter for having this podcast. I think it's very interesting when she started to tell me about her idea. I fully support, and as we go along, we will just have a quick chat about this. And I find that what she intend to do, I think is a very I'm very impressed because she wants to make this podcast as to also to let others learn through our relationship, our dynamic, and how this relationship or this dynamic evolve that can also benefit other people, especially mother and daughter. We this is very common. We know that mother and daughter, or even families members, even brothers and sisters, we do have some hiccups here and there, and some maybe is very intense, some is okay, but it's good for us to share so that everybody can learn from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And disclaimer, I think
Yeah.
for our experiences, it's only specific to us, so it may not apply to everybody. As we understand, every family has their own dynamics. So if you feel like
you resonate with it, then that's great. If you don't, it's okay, just maybe if you can laugh it off, because there will be kind of ridiculous things that we will be sharing. It's quite funny. Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned.
Thank you for listening to the Whopper Talks podcast.